This is the moment a traffic stop took a deadly turn. After calls for transparency, Grand Rapids police are releasing several videos showing the moments leading up to and after a Grand Rapids police officer shot and killed Patrick Lyoya.
Let's walk you through it. The disturbing video shows the officer initiating a traffic stop last Monday morning near the corner of Griggs Street and Nelson Avenue in Grand Rapids. Patrick comes to a complete stop and exits the car. In the video, you can hear the officer telling him to get back in the car, then asks Patrick if he has a driver's license. When Patrick tries to walk away, the officer and Patrick get into a scuffle and end up in the grass, as you can see in the video here. The officer can be heard shouting at Patrick several times to let go of his taser. At one point, you can hear the taser deploy, but police say it did not make contact with Patrick. The video then shows the officer on top of Patrick's back, Patrick facing down. As the two continue to struggle, the officer then pulls out his firearm and shoots Patrick in the back of the head, killing him.
The video now sparking outrage within the community. Hundreds hit the streets of Grand Rapids last night in a peaceful protest, chanting Patrick's name and calling for action. There are also calls for the officer to be arrested and charged. And Emily, we're still waiting to see if that will happen.
That's right. As the community continues to demand justice and answers, law experts explain these sorts of things come with time, leaving many wondering what happens next. 13 on your side's Joshua Vincent joins us live this morning. He's downtown with what we're learning next. Good morning, Josh.
Emily, the entire world saw that deadly police shooting video taking place right here in Grand Rapids, leaving the city on edge. And you can see an example of that by looking at this barricade right in front of police headquarters in downtown. And, you know, despite everyone being upset and rising frustrations mounting, members of the community let their voices be heard, yet remain peaceful. So the question is, what happens next? The Kent County Prosecuting Attorney's Office said Michigan State Police is conducting its independent investigation, and it will not be able to review the case until all of the evidence provided by MSP is released. We reached out to state police, who say there is no timeline or timetable for when its investigation will be complete. And remember, as of last check, they still have not interviewed that officer or explained why. Law experts we spoke to say these investigations take time, even though the community want answers right now.
While everybody wants answers and justice now, I think it's important that these agencies take the time they need to, so that nobody can say in the future this was a rush job. What this is going to come down to is, even though there was a protracted struggle and Mr. Lyoya apparently reached for a taser, what's going to matter is that seconds before decision where the officer ultimately pulled his gun out and shot Mr. Lyoya.
She also says in cases with this amount of attention, it's typical to not have the officer's name to be released. Now, it is worth noting, civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump said yesterday that he will be here in Grand Rapids. He represents the family, and he will be joining Detroit area defense attorney Vin Johnson. He also joined the legal team for the Lyoya family. So they'll have a press conference later on this afternoon. Stick with 13 on your side. We're definitely going to bring that to you live and on air. We're live outside the we're live here at the police station this morning. Joshua Vincent, 13 on your side.
Josh, thank you. The Grand Rapids chapter of the NAACP is calling the entire interaction an unnecessary and excessive use of deadly force.
And they are calling for the officer involved to be fired. Grand Rapids NAACP President Clee Jackson says this video should have been released sooner. And while the name of the officer has yet to be released, the NAACP's legal counsel for public safety believes Chief Eric Winstrom has enough evidence to fire the officer.
And in our opinion, it was just straight up murder. With him being new, I think this could be a good opportunity for him to set a good foot forward with the community and show them that he really supports the community more than this toxic police culture of the Grand Rapids Police Department.
The Grand Rapids NAACP is also calling this fatal shooting the result of a system rooted in anti-blackness. In addition to releasing the video, Lyoya's family is asking authorities to allow an independent autopsy, and the Kent County Medical Examiner is responding to that request. Stephen Cole is saying he completed Lyoya's autopsy on April 4th and will cooperate with any board-certified forensics pathologist to do an independent autopsy. He also says he notified Patrick's family that his body is available for release to a funeral home. And again, later this afternoon, we expect to hear from the Lyoya family attorneys Ben Crump and Vin Johnson. We'll be holding a press conference at 1:30 this afternoon. We will be at that press conference and provide the very latest, both on air and online. You can also find extended coverage right now at 13onyourside.com.